My brothers and sisters, let me tell you something today. Sometimes the greatest mistake we make in life is not failure. It is premature revelation. Many dreams have died not because the person lacked ability, but because they announced it too soon. Everybody doesn't need to know your next step because not everybody wants to see you win. Silence is not weakness. Sometimes silence is strategy. Silence is strategy, not weakness. These words may sound simple, but if you think deeply, they carry a wisdom that can transform the way you live your life. Many people misunderstand silence. They think if someone is quiet, it must mean they are weak, they don't have a voice, or they are afraid. But the truth is, real silence comes from strength, not from fear. Silence is a shield, silence is a weapon, and silence is a teacher. Silence is the space where wisdom is born, where thoughts become clear, and where strategies are created. Think about a game of chess. The best players do not shout out their next move. They don't brag about how they're going to win. They stay calm. They study the board. They wait for the right moment. And then quietly, they make a move that changes the whole game. That silence is not weakness. It is the strategy that wins. In the same way, life is like a chessboard. If you announce all your plans loudly, others may block you, distract you, or even use your own moves against you. But if you learn to hold back, if you learn the art of being silent until the right time, your victory becomes certain. Look at nature. The seed buried in the soil makes no noise, but it is silently working, silently pushing roots deeper into the ground. It doesn't complain, it doesn't broadcast what it's doing, it just stays hidden in the darkness until the day comes when it bursts forth as a plant or a tree. And when it does, everyone sees it, everyone enjoys its shade or its fruit. That's how silence works. It prepares you underground, in the unseen places of life, until the right moment when your growth can no longer be ignored. Now think about your own life. How many times have you wanted to tell everyone about your new idea, your new project, your new plan? And sometimes, after telling them, you suddenly feel your energy dropping. Why? Because when you reveal too much too soon, the energy of your dream gets scattered. Some people may discourage you, some may envy you, some may even try to stop you. And suddenly what felt powerful in your heart becomes weaker on your tongue. But when you practice silence, when you keep your dream close to your chest, you protect it like a mother protects her child. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. Take an example from relationships. Sometimes in a heated argument, silence speaks louder than words. When someone is trying to provoke you, they expect you to react. They want you to lose control, to say something you'll regret later. But when you remain silent, not out of fear, but out of strength, you keep the power in your hands. Silence becomes your strategy. You don't let anger rule you. Instead, you let peace protect you. And later, when emotions settle, people realize that your silence was not weakness, it was maturity. In the workplace too, silence can be a powerful tool. Imagine you're in a meeting and someone is bragging loudly about their ideas. Everyone's attention is on them. But when you remain calm, listening carefully, analyzing quietly, you are preparing yourself to speak with clarity. And when you finally do speak, your words have more weight because they come after thoughtful silence. People will notice that you didn't rush, you didn't compete with noise, You spoke with strategy. Even in spiritual growth, silence is golden. Some of the most powerful prayers are not shouted out loud, but whispered in silence. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in life come not when we are talking, but when we are listening in silence to our own hearts, to our own intuition, and to the voice of God. The word is loud, but silence allows you to hear what truly matters. When you understand that silence is strategy, you will stop trying to prove yourself to everyone. You don't need to explain your every step. You don't need to argue with every critic. You don't need to announce your every dream. Instead, you learn to move quietly. Let your work speak, and let your results shout louder than your voice ever could. Remember, lions don't roar when they are hunting. They stay quiet, they stay hidden, they move with patience and precision, and then they strike at the right moment. That silence makes them powerful. If they roared too early, their prey would run away. In the same way, when you stay silent about your moves until the right time, you ensure your success. So, my friend, the next time you are tempted to reveal everything, pause and remind yourself, silence is not weakness. It is your armor. It is your wisdom. It is your strength. Let people underestimate you because you are quiet. Let them think you are weak. Because when the moment comes, when your silence transforms into results, the same people who doubted you will be amazed. Silence is not the absence of power, it is the presence of control. And those who master silence master their destiny. Dreams are like seeds. They grow best when hidden. This truth is one of the most beautiful lessons we can learn in life. A dream is something delicate, something powerful, but in its early stage, it is also something fragile. Just like a seed, it has incredible potential, but that potential can only come to life if it is placed in the right environment and given the right protection. A seed does not grow on the surface where everyone can see it. If you throw a seed on the ground and leave it uncovered, the birds will eat it, or the sun will burn it before it ever has a chance to sprout. But when you plant it deep into the soil, away from eyes, away from hands, away from danger, it begins its secret journey of growth. That hidden process, though unseen, is where the miracle takes place. In the same way, your dreams are like those seeds. They need to be planted in silence, away from the noise of people's opinions, away from the criticism of those who cannot understand, away from the jealousy of those who cannot celebrate you. The soil represents your heart, your discipline, your effort, and your faith. When you place your dream in that soil and nurture it privately, it develops roots that make it strong enough to withstand storms later. But if you reveal it too early, if you put it on display before it has roots, it can be snatched away, criticized, mocked, or destroyed. Think about a farmer. When he plants seeds, he doesn't go around digging them up every day to show the neighbors. Look, here is my seed. No, he knows that the power is in letting the seed remain hidden until the right time. He waters it, he cares for it, but he trusts the process. In due season, the seed pushes through the soil and becomes visible to the world. That is how dreams work. You don't need to broadcast them. You need to protect them, nourish them, and let them grow in silence until they are strong enough to be seen. Look at how many great inventions, businesses, or works of art began in silence. The world did not see the sleepless nights, the quiet sacrifices, the hidden failures that nobody knew about. The world only saw the finished product, the tree that grew from the seed. When Thomas Edison was working on the light bulb, he failed hundreds of times. He didn't run outside after every failed attempt to announce it to the world. He kept his dream like a seed, hidden but alive, until the day came when he succeeded and the world saw the light. In daily life, you may have experienced the same thing. Maybe you had a new idea for a business, or a personal goal to lose weight, or a dream to write a book. The moment you told people, some of them laughed, some of them doubted, some of them gave discouraging advice, and suddenly, what felt strong in your heart felt weaker in your hands. But if you had kept it to yourself, nurtured it like a seed, you could have worked on it quietly, step by step, until the results were ready to speak for themselves. Seeds also teach us patience. When you plant a seed, you don't see results immediately. Days go by, weeks go by, sometimes months, and still nothing seems to be happening. But under the soil, life is moving, roots are spreading, strength is building, the foundation is forming. Dreams are exactly the same. Just because no one sees them doesn't mean they're not growing. Your effort, your consistency, your prayers, your focus, these are the water and sunlight for your dream. Even if the world doesn't notice, even if people doubt you, keep working in silence because something powerful is happening in the unseen. Consider the story of bamboo. When you plant bamboo, nothing happens for years. You water it, you nurture it, you wait, and for years there is no visible growth. But underground, the roots are spreading wide and deep. Then, suddenly, after years of hidden growth, bamboo shoots up several feet in just weeks. That's how hidden dreams work. When they finally emerge, people may think it happened overnight, but you will know the truth. You were watering that dream for years in silence. Dreams require that kind of hidden protection. Not everyone is capable of believing in your vision because it was not given to them, it was given to you. That is why exposing your dream too early is dangerous. Some people will discourage you because they are afraid. Others will discourage you because they envy. Some will even try to take your dream and make it their own. But when you keep it hidden, you keep it safe. And here is the beauty: when the time is right, your dream will reveal itself. Just like a seed that breaks through the soil, your work, your results, your success will speak for themselves. People may ask, where did this come from? How did you do this? And you can smile, knowing that all along, you were nurturing it quietly. So remember this truth: your dreams are like seeds. Don't expose them too soon. Don't dig them up for approval. Don't let others trample on them before they're ready. Hide them in the soil of your determination. Water them with your discipline. Feed them with your faith. And in the right season, they will bloom in ways that will surprise even you. Eagles rise without announcing to the crows. This single thought can shift the way we look at life, because it shows us the power of quiet action. An eagle does not waste time explaining itself to smaller birds. It does not go around declaring to the world, I am about to fly, I am about to soar. It simply opens its wings, rises into the skies, and leaves the noise behind. The crows can make all the noise they want, but the eagle flies at a height where their sound cannot reach. That is the beauty of living with quiet dignity, Your rise speaks louder than your words. In daily life, how often do we get caught in the noise of crows? The critics, the doubters, the people who always have something negative to say. You tell them your idea and they laugh. You share your plan and they criticize. You reveal your dream and they question your ability. These are the crows. Their voices are loud, but they cannot fly high. If you keep listening to them, you will find yourself stuck on the ground, never soaring to the heights you were born for. But the eagle teaches us, you don't need to argue with crows. You don't need to fight with them. You don't even need to prove them wrong. All you need to do is rise. Rise quietly. Rise steadily. Rise so high that the noise of the crows becomes irrelevant. Think about this in your own journey. Maybe you have faced people who doubted you in school, at work, or even in your family. They told you what you couldn't do, what you weren't good enough for. Maybe they tried to box you into their small vision. If you spent your time trying to convince them, you wasted your energy. But the eagle's way is different. It does not descend into arguments, it ascends into action. When you rise by your results, when you fly by your achievements, those same people who once mocked you are left silent. Take an example from history. When the Wright brothers first spoke about their dream to build a flying machine, people laughed. Many crows around them said it was impossible, ridiculous, a waste of time. But the brothers didn't waste energy explaining their dream again and again. They worked quietly, tested privately, failed silently, and then one day they rose. Their success spoke louder than all the criticism. They became eagles who soared, while the crows kept going below. In our personal lives, we see the same pattern. Imagine a young student preparing for an exam. Instead of telling everyone how much they are studying, instead of arguing with friends who say they can't do it, they keep silent, focus, and prepare. On the day of results, when the top rank appears next to their name, no words are needed. The crow-like voices disappear because the evidence is undeniable. That's the eagle's way. Let your results silence the noise. Relationships also show us this truth. Sometimes, when someone disrespects you or doubts your worth, the human instinct is to argue, to shout, to prove yourself. But eagles don't argue with crows. If you truly want to show your worth, stop talking and start rising. Build your life, work on yourself, improve your character, grow in silence. When you achieve peace, success, and dignity, those who once disrespected you will have no choice but to notice. The best answer to doubt is not words, it is growth. Even in the workplace, there are crows. Maybe colleagues gossip about you, or someone tries to bring you down with negativity. If you engage with every negative word, you lose focus. But if you learn from the eagle and keep your eyes on the skies, you rise above it. You deliver excellent work. You maintain your integrity, and you climb higher while they stay busy making noise. One day, when you're promoted, when you're recognized, when your results shine, those crows will realize that their noise never stopped you. Nature also gives us another lesson. The eagle doesn't just rise, it rises where the crows cannot follow. Eagles fly at altitudes where smaller birds cannot survive. In life too, when you choose higher standards, integrity, discipline, resilience, you enter spaces where negativity cannot reach. Gossip cannot survive at those heights. Jealousy cannot survive at those heights. Pettiness cannot survive at those heights. When you elevate your character, not just your achievements, you find peace that the noise below cannot disturb. This is why it is so important to learn the art of quiet rising. Not every step needs an announcement. Not every critic deserves a response. Not every crow deserves your attention. Keep your wings steady, keep your eyes focused, and keep your heart determined. Rise quietly, because one day your height will become the answer to every doubt. So, when life surrounds you with noise, remember the eagle. Don't waste your time with arguments. Don't get trapped in the endless need to explain yourself. Instead, focus on your journey, your growth, your flight. And when the time comes, rise. Rise so high that those who once mocked you can only look up in silence. Rise so high that your presence itself becomes your statement. Rise so high that the crows become just a distant memory, a noise that can no longer touch you. That is the lesson of the eagle. Real strength does not announce, it ascends. And when you learn to rise like that, you become unstoppable. Premature revelation invites unnecessary resistance. These words hold a wisdom that many of us learn too late in life. How often have you felt excited about something? A new idea, a personal goal, a dream that lights up your heart. And the very first instinct was to tell someone. You shared it with a friend, a colleague, or even family, hoping for encouragement. But instead of support, you received doubt, criticism, or even mockery. That spark inside you suddenly felt smaller. The truth is, not every dream is meant to be revealed before its time. Just like a fruit that is plucked too early tastes sour, a dream exposed too soon invites resistance. It does not yet have the strength to fight. Life gives us countless examples of this. Imagine a builder who announces to the whole town that he is constructing a new house, but only lays the foundation. Before the walls even rise, people will gather with questions, doubts, and criticisms. Why here? Why this design? Why not bigger? Why not cheaper? Their voices become distractions, and before the house can take form, the builder feels burdened. But think about the builder who works quietly, brick by brick, until the house is standing tall. When people see it complete, their questions turn into admiration. The difference lies in timing. One revealed too soon, the other revealed when the work was ready to speak. In daily life, we all face this challenge. Maybe you decide to start a new fitness journey. The first day you go for a run, you post about it, and immediately, some people laugh, some remind you of your past failures, some say, let's see how long this lasts. That resistance plants doubt in your mind. Instead of focusing on your progress, you start thinking about their voices. But what if you had kept quiet? What if you ran in silence for weeks, built your strength, and then showed results when people could see the change in your body and energy? That way, the resistance would come too late. Your roots would already be strong. Even in the professional world, premature revelation can be dangerous. A young entrepreneur with a brilliant business idea may rush to share it widely. Instead of support, they might face competition, sabotage, or discouragement. Some people might even steal the idea. The result is unnecessary resistance that could have been avoided if the idea was nurtured privately until it was strong enough to stand. Every great company, every invention, every breakthrough had a season of silence before it became visible to the world. That silence wasn't weakness. It was protection from unnecessary resistance. Look at the story of Joseph from the scriptures. When he shared his dream too early with his brothers, instead of celebrating, they became jealous and plotted against him. His dream was real, his vision was true, but his timing of revelation was premature. The resistance he faced was not because his dream was wrong, but because it was revealed to hearts not ready to handle it. This story teaches us that sometimes the very people you expect support from may become your greatest resistance if you reveal things before the right time. In relationships too, premature revelation can create problems. Imagine someone beginning to heal from heartbreak. They are slowly finding peace, slowly building strength. But if they announce too quickly, "I am completely over it, I'm moving on, I'm stronger than ever," they might face skepticism, pressure, or even taunts from others. That resistance could shake the fragile healing process. But if they keep their progress private, work on themselves quietly, and reveal their strength only when it is unshakable, no resistance can undo their growth. Nature reflects the same truth. Consider a chick growing inside an egg. If it breaks the shell too early, it cannot survive. The resistance of the shell is necessary, but only at the right time. Premature breaking leads to death. In the same way, our dreams must remain protected until they are strong enough to break through resistance on their own. Announcing them too soon exposes them to pressures they are not prepared to face. Premature revelation also drains your energy. Every time you announce a plan, you create expectations, both in others and in yourself. Suddenly, instead of focusing on the actual work, you feel the weight of proving yourself to the world. That pressure invites unnecessary resistance within your own mind. But when you move quietly, you allow yourself the freedom to fail, to try again, to learn, without the burden of eyes watching you. Silence gives you space to grow without resistance. The wise know that timing is everything. There is a time to sow, a time to nurture, and a time to reveal. When you respect that timing, your dream matures like a fruit ripening in its season. When the world finally sees it, it is undeniable, irresistible, and unshakable. But if you reveal it before its time, you invite resistance that can weaken or even destroy it. So, learn from this truth. Protect your vision in its early stages. Let it grow in silence. Do not rush to prove. Do not rush to announce. Do not rush to reveal. Wait until your work has roots, until your progress is visible, until your dream can stand tall against any storm. At that moment, resistance cannot stop you. Premature revelation invites unnecessary resistance, but silence invites growth. And when the time is right, your dream will reveal itself with a strength that no resistance can defeat. Not everyone has the maturity to handle your vision. This is one of the hardest truths to accept in life, but once you embrace it, you find peace. When a dream is placed in your heart, it is not given to everyone around you, it is given to you. That dream was tailored for your spirit, your journey, your struggles, and your destiny. Expecting others to understand it the way you do is like expecting someone to feel your heartbeat inside their own chest. It's impossible. Some people cannot celebrate what they cannot see, and others cannot believe in what is too big for their imagination. That does not make your vision any less real. It simply means it was not entrusted to them. Think about a painter. He sees an empty canvas, but in his mind, he already envisions a masterpiece. To someone else, it looks like just a white sheet. If he shows it too early, people may laugh or say, "I don't see anything here." They lack the maturity to understand what is forming. But when the painter completes the work and reveals the final picture, everyone is in awe. The vision was always there, but only the painter had the eyes to see it before it was finished. Your life's vision works the same way. Others may see emptiness where you see possibility. They may see weakness where you see strength. They may see nothing where you see everything. That's why their immaturity should never discourage your maturity. In daily life, how many times have you shared your goals with someone only to feel disheartened by their reaction? Maybe you told a friend you wanted to start your own business, and instead of encouragement, they said, "That's too risky. You'll fail." Or you told someone you wanted to pursue a new career, and they laughed, "You're not smart enough for that." Their reaction hurt you, not because your dream was wrong, but because you expected them to see what only you could see. They lacked the maturity to handle your vision. This truth is evident in the story of many great achievers. When Walt Disney first presented his idea of Disneyland, banks rejected him, people mocked him, and some said he was crazy. They could not see beyond the empty land he was pointing at. But Walt had the vision of a magical kingdom for families, and he held on to it despite their immaturity. Today, millions of people around the world celebrate what he once saw in his heart. The vision was never the problem. It was the limited mindset of those around him. Even in spiritual teachings, this truth shines. Joseph shared his dream with his brothers that he would one day rise to greatness. Instead of supporting him, they became jealous and angry. They could not handle his vision because it made them uncomfortable. Sometimes, when you share your vision, it exposes people's own insecurities. Your light makes them aware of their darkness. Your ambition reminds them of their lack of effort. And instead of being inspired, they choose to be offended. That is why not everyone deserves access to your vision. In relationships too, this lesson applies. Imagine someone who shares their dream of self-growth with a partner or friend who is not ready to grow. Instead of support, they face resistance. The partner may say, "Why are you trying to change? Are you saying I'm not good enough?" They take your vision personally because they lack the maturity to see that your growth benefits everyone. If you depend on such people's approval, you will shrink your dream to match their comfort zone. But if you guard your vision, you protect your destiny. Another daily example can be seen in children. A small child may say, "One day I will be a doctor, an astronaut, or a leader." The right response is encouragement, but not everyone gives that. Some adults laugh. "That's too big for you." They think they are being realistic, but in truth, they are projecting their own limitations. The child's dream is pure, but the adult's immaturity kills it. This happens even as we grow older. The world tries to shrink us to fit its limited imagination. But remember, your vision was given to you, not them. Not everyone has the maturity to handle your vision, and that is perfectly fine. The key is not to demand their understanding, but to accept their limitation. You don't need everyone to believe. You just need to believe enough for yourself. When the time is right, when your vision bears fruit, even those who once doubted you will be forced to respect it. Until then, you must protect it like a fragile flame in the wind, shield it, nurture it, and keep it alive until it grows strong enough to light the world. So the next time you share your vision and face disbelief, do not be discouraged. Do not think your dream is too big or too unrealistic. Instead, remind yourself they just don't have the maturity to handle it. Their disbelief is not your problem. It is a reflection of their own limits. Stay focused, stay faithful, and stay patient. Your vision will one day speak for itself, louder than their doubt ever could. The vision was placed in your heart for a reason. Protect it, honor it, and keep walking, even if no one walks beside you, because in the end, when the vision is fulfilled, those who could not see it will have no choice but to witness it. And in that moment, you will realize they never had to understand your vision because it was never theirs to understand. Work in silence. Let results make the noise. These words are a timeless principle that can transform the way you live, the way you dream, and the way you achieve. In a world where people are eager to show every step on social media, where many are more interested in talking about progress than actually making progress, there is something incredibly powerful about moving quietly. Silence is not emptiness, it is focus. And when you channel all your energy into the work, instead of into the announcement, your results become so undeniable that they speak louder than 1,000 words. Imagine a student preparing for an important exam. Some students boast, "I studied all night, I solved every paper, I'm ready to top the class." They create noise with their words. Another student remains quiet, showing no signs of pressure, speaking little about their effort. Instead, they wake up early, revise, and focus day after day. On the result day, when the list is posted, the loud ones fade into the background, and the quiet one shines at the top. That success speaks louder than all the noise before. The difference was simple. While others were busy talking, one person was busy working. This principle applies in every corner of life. In the workplace, there are people who love to make big promises. "I'll deliver this project better than anyone else. I'll change the company with my ideas." Their words are heavy, but their delivery is light. Then there are others who keep quiet, take notes, plan carefully, and dedicate themselves to execution. They don't need to announce what they're doing, because when the project is completed, when the results are excellent, the whole room recognizes their contribution. They didn't have to speak. Their results spoke. In personal growth too, this principle shines. Many people talk about changing their habits. From tomorrow, I'll wake up early, I'll hit the gym, I'll eat healthy. But those words often stay as words. Then there are individuals who don't say a thing. They set the alarm, wake up before sunrise, exercise daily, and stay consistent. Weeks later, their body transforms, their energy glows, and their life looks different. They never made noise, but their results became a living testimony. Silence during the process, noise through the outcome. That's the formula. Nature reflects the same wisdom. The sun doesn't make announcements in the morning saying, "I am about to rise." It simply rises, and its light fills the earth. Flowers don't send out reminders saying, "We are blooming now." They just bloom, and their beauty captures attention. Trees don't make noise while growing, they simply grow quietly, day by day, until one day they stand tall, offering fruit and shade. Nature teaches us that greatness doesn't need to shout, it needs to show. One of the dangers of making too much noise before results is that it can weaken your momentum. Psychologists have observed that when people announce their goals too loudly, they sometimes feel a false sense of accomplishment. The praise they receive for their words satisfies them temporarily, and the hunger to actually finish the work weakens. But when you keep quiet, when you reserve your energy for the action instead of the applause, you maintain the fire inside. The silence protects your drive, and the results become unstoppable. Take the story of athletes as an example. Some athletes talk constantly about what they will achieve, how they will break records, how they will defeat their opponents. Others, like champions, keep their mouths closed and their heads down. They train harder than anyone else, practice endlessly, and show up on the day of the competition ready to give their best. When the whistle blows, when the race is run, when the game is played, their performance is their statement. And when they win, their victory is the noise the world cannot ignore. In relationships too, working in silence brings strength. Instead of constantly saying, "I'll change, I'll improve, I'll treat you better," it's more powerful to show change through consistent actions. Words can be forgotten, but actions create trust. A partner who quietly makes small changes, listens more, supports more, shows up more, creates results that no promise could equal. Silence in intention, noise in action. That is love that inspires. Even spiritually, the idea holds weight. The deepest prayers are not always shouted from rooftops. Sometimes they are whispered in silence, tears rolling down unseen. Yet those silent prayers bring results that shake lives. Likewise, the strongest faith is not in announcing loudly, "I believe," but in quietly living by belief until results shine through your life. The truth is, people may doubt your words, but they cannot doubt your results. Arguments can be dismissed, promises can be ignored, but results are undeniable. When you let results do the talking, you rise above the need to convince anyone. You no longer waste time proving yourself. You let your life be the proof. So if you are working on something right now, resist the temptation to announce every step. Keep your head down, keep your heart focused, keep your hands busy. Work in silence. Let the process be private. And when the results come, let them be so strong, so clear, so powerful that they make all the noise for you. Remember, a lion doesn't announce to the jungle, "I am about to hunt." It moves silently, patiently, strategically, and when the time comes, its roar is undeniable because it already has its victory. In the same way, you don't need to roar before the result. Let your success roar for you. Work in silence and let results make the noise, and watch how your life becomes an inspiration that speaks louder than any words ever could. Patience is the secret ingredient that turns small seeds into mighty trees, that transforms silent efforts into visible victories. In our fast-paced world, where people crave instant recognition and quick results, patience is often misunderstood as weakness. But in truth, patience is strength, an inner discipline that allows you to hold on when others let go, to wait when others rush, and to trust the process when the outcome seems far away. Every meaningful achievement in life requires time, and those who understand this principle never quit halfway because they know their moment will come if they persist. Think of a farmer. He plants seeds in the soil and covers them with earth. The next day, when he looks, nothing has changed. A week later, still nothing. But does the farmer dig up the seed to see what's happening? No. He waters the soil, waits, and trusts that beneath the ground, roots are forming, life is stirring, and growth is beginning. Weeks later, a small green shoot appears, and months later, a full harvest is ready. Imagine if the farmer had lost patience after a few days. The crop would never have been born. The same happens in our lives. When we rush, when we quit too early, when we refuse to wait, we rob ourselves of the harvest that was almost ready. Patience is not about sitting idly, it is about active waiting. It's about doing your part consistently while trusting that results will come in their time. A student who studies daily, even when the exam is months away, practices patience. They don't need immediate results. They believe in the slow accumulation of knowledge. On the day of the exam, patience rewards them with calmness, confidence, and clarity. Another student, in contrast, wants results without the waiting period, so they rush, cram, and panic, and the outcome reflects their impatience. Patience builds strength, while impatience steals it. In relationships, patience becomes the glue that holds hearts together. No relationship blossoms overnight. True friendship or love takes time to grow roots. There are misunderstandings, moments of silence, and times when you feel distant. But if you are patient enough to listen, to forgive, and to allow space for growth, you discover a deeper bond that impatience would have destroyed. Parents, for example, show patience every day as their children grow. They know that discipline, teaching, and nurturing will not bear fruit in a week, but over years. And when those children grow into strong adults, patience reveals its reward. Look at great inventions and discoveries. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb in a single attempt. He tried thousands of times, each failure teaching him a new lesson. Imagine if he had lost patience after the first 100 failures. The world might still be in darkness. Every breakthrough in history, medicine, technology, art, was born from patient effort. Those who are remembered today are not the ones who quit quickly, but the ones who endured with patience until results came. Nature, too, whispers this truth. The tallest mountains were not formed in a year. Rivers carve valleys over centuries. Diamonds are not made overnight. They are created under pressure over thousands of years. If nature takes its time to produce beauty and greatness, why do we expect our lives to transform instantly? Patience aligns us with the rhythm of life. It teaches us to honor the process instead of forcing the outcome. Sometimes patience feels painful because waiting tests our emotions. You may wonder why success hasn't come yet, why recognition is delayed, why dreams are taking longer than expected. But remember, a delayed result is not a denied result. The waiting period is often a preparation period. Just like a bow must be pulled backward before it can shoot forward, life sometimes pulls us back to launch us into greater heights. Without patience, you might mistake preparation for punishment and give up right before your breakthrough. Athletes understand patience well. They train day after day, year after year, often unseen, often uncelebrated. When the Olympics arrive, Those few minutes of performance are backed by countless hours of silent, patient preparation. The medals they win are not rewards for one day of effort, but for years of disciplined waiting. That is the power of patience. It turns hidden effort into shining glory. Even spiritually, patience holds deep value. Faith itself is incomplete without patience. When you pray, you don't always see immediate answers. But patience tells you to keep believing, to keep walking, to keep trusting. Many people give up on their prayers because results don't come instantly. But those who hold on, who stay patient, often witness miracles that impatience would have missed. In everyday life, you can practice patience in small ways. When stuck in traffic, instead of honking endlessly, you can choose calmness. When standing in a long queue, instead of complaining, you can choose to breathe and reflect. These small practices strengthen your patience muscle so that when bigger challenges come, you are prepared to endure. Patience also protects you from unnecessary mistakes. Decisions made in haste often bring regret, while decisions made with patience often bring peace. Think of buying something expensive. An impatient buyer rushes and later realizes they wasted money. A patient buyer waits, researches, and makes a wiser choice. The same applies to career decisions, relationships, and opportunities. Impatience blinds us, but patience gives clarity. The beauty of patience is that when the result finally comes, it tastes sweeter because of the wait. A dream achieved after years of effort feels priceless. A relationship that grows slowly feels deeper. A success earned after struggle feels more satisfying. Patience makes the reward meaningful because you know how much you endured to get there. So, if you are waiting for something right now, whether it is success in your career, peace in your relationships, or clarity in your life, don't lose heart. Keep doing the work, keep showing up, keep watering the seed. Trust the process, because patience is not passive, it is powerful. It is the ability to keep moving, keep believing, and keep enduring until the unseen becomes seen. Remember this: impatience may give you temporary satisfaction, but patience gives you lasting success. The greatest stories of life are written not by those who rushed, but by those who waited, endured, and persisted. Hold on, stay steady, trust the timing of life. So I say to you today, walk with wisdom. Let your moves be made in silence, and let your victories be shouted by results. Don't reveal your next step until it's done. When the time comes, the world will not need your announcement. The world will see your evidence.